Welcome to Discussing Dad Life, where we break down bullshit so you don't have to. I'm Void, this is No, and let's go.
Welcome, everyone, to Main Event Mondays. I apologize about last week. I had some technical difficulties. We were not getting sound anywhere, and I ran out of time trying to fix it. I was able to fix it throughout the week, and we're back. So I was just Monday, I was wishing everyone a happy Memorial Day, so I hope you guys all had a great one on that. And then we got into a bunch of bull crap with the Trump trial and some other crap. But nonetheless, it was a technical difficulties for sure. Okay, so quick shout out from our sponsor, Candle Time 22 or 2022 at gmail.com. Reach out to us there. Check out candletime.net. Buycandletime.net. We have 5 cents available: citronella, peach, sea breeze, lakeshore, and coconut. Yeah, Moo makes them, and she has fun doing it, and I enjoy doing it with her. So yeah, let's get into the highlights of this week, man. Like, last week was nuts. So Trump was convicted, which I already knew he was going to get convicted. It's New York City. They're going to riot and do whatever, burn everything down. They're going to find him guilty because they don't want that headache. So let's. I got 4 articles pulled up regarding the Trump thing since. This we live in a crazy time, man. We live in a crazy time. So let's just let me go ahead and get us swapped over to it. Okay. So Fox News. Trump speaks to Fox News after his guilty conviction. These are bad people. Trump told Fox and Friends weekend in an exclusive TV interview that the moment he knew even Mother Teresa couldn't win. So this was published June 2nd at 9 a.m. basically. Wow. Well, I thought it was an article, but it's just the thing, a video. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna. Yeah, I mean, look at him. He looks upset. Well, let's play it just a little bit, I guess, if it wants to. Nope, it doesn't want to. So we'll skip this one. ABC News: half of Americans think Trump's guilty verdict was correct. Should be ending campaign poll. So, well, it's not half of Americans. 47% say that they think the charges against Trump were politically motivated. A plurality of Americans, 50%, think that former President Donald Trump's guilty verdict on all 34 counts in his hush money trial was correct. And ABC News Ipsos poll finds, and almost as many as 49 think that he should end his 2024 presidential campaign over the result. Yeah, I mean, that's what they were going for, and it's dumb because it wasn't correct at all. Still, following the historic criminal trial that ended this week in a first ever conviction of a former president, Trump's favorability has remained stable at 31%, according to the latest NBC Ipsos poll conducted using Ipsos Knowledge Panel. Trump was found guilty on 34 counts on Thursday in his trial related to falsifying business records regarding the payment he made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels before the 2016 election in order to keep her quiet about their alleged affair. Again, they oversimplified that. That's not what he did. He paid Michael Cohen, and Michael Cohen actually was the one that was paying her to shut up. So, I mean, yeah, it's completely different than what they even say here. The former president has vowed to appeal, saying on Friday that bad people have levied the case and charges against him. That's just true, because this was a misdemeanor charge that was past the statute of limitations. Whatever. 47% of Americans say they think the charges against Trump in the case were politically motivated, while 38% say they're not. At the same time, the slight majority, 51%, think Trump potentially did something illegal in the case. 12% think Trump did something wrong, but not intentionally, and 19% believe he did not do anything wrong. I don't know if he didn't do anything wrong. I'm probably in the 12% camp there, but I don't think he knew he did anything wrong. He hired a lawyer, and his lawyer is a known liar and admitted to stealing from the Trump organization. So, I mean, the dude's not a good dude. So this is nuts. Oh, okay. The proportions of Americans who say Trump should end his presidential campaign as a result of this verdict is 49%, which is similar to findings from an April 2023 ABC News Ipsos poll conducted shortly after the Manhattan grand jury handed an indictment against him in this case. Which goes to show you that Everyone already has their mind made up. If this was a year ago, over a year ago, a year and a month ago, was the same results after the grand jury, and they're saying the same thing now after a guilty verdict, it means people have already made up their minds. So the polling doesn't really mean jack in this. Yeah. So Biden's favorability ratings also remain low and unchanged according to the new poll. His favorability ratings stand at 32% compared to 33% in the ABC poll conducted in March of 24. Public reaction to Trump's guilty verdict falls along partisan lines. For example, 83% of Democrats think the verdict was correct and 79% think he should end his campaign as a result. While only 16% of Republicans say the verdict was correct, and the same percentage say that she should end this presidential bid. Because both Biden and Trump are broadly viewed unfavorably, the election could come down to independent voters, or even more specifically, those who dislike both candidates, sometimes referred to as double haters. Actually, the Libertarian Party actually might swing for Trump this time because they nominated a far leftist, very woke person, and most libertarians are not going to. Some libertarians are not going to put up with it. So I think Trump is going to gain some libertarian votes. Just my thought. I'm not going to say it's actually correct or not. The majority of independent thinkers think Trump's verdict was correct, 52%, and the same amount believe that he should end his candidacy. For double haters, those reactions are even more pronounced. 65% of Americans who view both Trump and Biden unfavorably think the verdict this week was correct, with 67% believing Trump should end his presidential campaign. 45% of the independents and 51% of the double haters think that the hush money trial was politically motivated, compared to 83% of Republicans and 20% of the Democrats. Yeah, that's actually really telling that about roughly half independents and double haters think that it was politically motivated, which means that the apparent the appearance is that it was politically motivated, which is where I fall. It did seem very politically motivated, and which makes me think that I don't even care if he did anything wrong. The simple fact that you're going after him because you hate him, it makes me want to support him. In the New York trial, Trump's attacks are largely directed at the district attorney, the judge, and the jury, all of which he claimed are unfairly politically biased against him. Trump also came after President Biden, claiming without evidence that he was behind the prosecution. Yeah, there's probably no evidence of that, but I think it's a pretty fair bet that Biden, as the head of the party, is somehow involved. Okay, so here's what we should know about Donald Trump's conviction in his hush money trial. This is from the AP, but I'm not seeing when it was written. Oh, here it is, May 31st, 2024. Donald Trump's conviction on 34 felony counts marks the end of the former president's historic hush money trial, but the fight over his case is far from over. Yeah, that's true. Now comes the sentencing and the potential for a prison sentence, a lengthy appellate process, and all the while, the presumptive Republican presidential nominee still has to deal with 3 more criminal cases and a campaign that could see him return to the White House. Yeah, that's all true, too. Oh, God. Yeah, man, I don't know how Trump's doing it. He's like, 77 years old? I don't know how he's doing it. I mean, you got to have so much energy just to be able to put up with all this crap. After more than 9 hours of deliberation over 2 days, the Manhattan jury found Trump guilty of falsifying business records in the case stemming from a hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels. They always want to throw that in there. It's hilarious. Trump angrily denounced the trial as a disgrace, telling his reporters that he's an innocent man. Some key takeaways from the jury's decision. Prison time. The big question now is whether Trump could go to prison. The answer is uncertain. Judge Juan M. Merchan set sentencing for July 11th, just days before the Republicans are formally set to nominate Trump for president. The charge of falsifying business records is a Class E felony in New York, the lowest tier of felony charges in the state, but is punishable by up to 4 years in prison. Though the punishment would ultimately be up to the judge, and there's no guarantee he would give Trump time behind bars. If he did that, Trump would win. I think I would call that. If Trump spent any time in prison, he's going to win the White House. Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg declined to say whether prosecutors would seek prison time. It's unclear to what extent the judge may factor in political and logistical complexities of jailing a former president who is running to reclaim the White House. Other punishments could include a fine or probation, and it's possible the judge would allow Trump to avoid serving any punishment until after he exhausts his appeals. That's probably what he's going to end up doing, just to avoid wading into the political landmine that's going to await if he decides to do anything else. Trump faces the threat to more serious prison time in 3 other cases he's facing. Both those cases have gotten bogged down by appeals and other legal fights. That's because a lot of crap came out, especially the one in the Mar-a-Lago, where it's, there's some interesting things going on there, and we'll see. So we'll see what happens. The conviction doesn't bar Trump from continuing his campaign or becoming president. He can still vote for himself in his home state of Florida as long as he stays out of prison in New York State. Trump's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, who serves as co-chair of the Republican National Committee, said in a Fox News Channel interview on Thursday that Trump would do virtual rallies and campaign events as he's convicted and sentenced to home confinement, which is going to limit Trump. Trump feeds off the crowd, it seems like. He's a comedian. He's a stand-up comedian. He feeds off the crowd. In a deeply divided America, it's unclear whether Trump once unimaginable criminal conviction will have any impact on the election. Leading strategists in both parties believe that Trump still remains well-positioned to defeat President Joe Biden, even as a Republican now faces the prospect of a prison sentence and 3 separate criminal cases still outstanding. They like to remind you of that, because it's the perception, right? They're trying to create the perception that this Trump is this criminal and should not be in the White House, and he's facing all these charges. Stupid. In the short term, at least, there was immediate signs that the guilty verdict was helping to unify the Republican Party's desperate factions of GOP officials across the political spectrum rallied behind their embattled presumptive presidential nominee, and his campaign reported a flood of fundraising dollars within hours of the verdict, as I would have expected. There have been some polling conducted on the prospects of the guilty verdict, although such hypothetical scenarios are notoriously difficult to predict. Yep. Found that only ABC Ipsos poll found that only 4% of Trump supporters said they would withdraw their backing if he's convicted of felony, and though another 16 said they would reconsider it. Oh, excuse me. After Trump is sentenced, he can challenge the conviction in the New York appellate court and possibly the state's highest court. Trump's lawyers already began laying the groundwork for appeals with objections to the charges and rulings at the trial. The defense has accused the judge of bias, citing his daughter's work heading a firm whose clients have included Biden. No, that's true. Vice President Kamala Harris and other Democrats. The judge refused the defense's request to remove himself from the case, saying he was certain of his ability to be fair and impartial. However, his rulings were not fair and impartial. Yeah, I think Trump, we're going to get to the appellate court next, but yeah, actually, let's just go ahead and move over there, because we all know Trump got convicted and there's lots of things going on now. This is stupid. So here comes Fox News. Trump gets win in New York appeals court as he awaits separate trial verdict. Former President Donald Trump received a small victory in New York appeals court Thursday as he awaits the verdict in his inmate. Oh, this is a different one. I'm sorry. I thought this was, I thought they had already gotten a win on the appeals court. I don't care about that one. So let's switch back over. Main screen. Bam. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's the big news. Big news is one of the front runners for the United States president has been convicted on 34 counts for felony, 34 felony counts. There we go. Wow. Words are hard this morning. Yeah, I really want to know what everyone's thoughts are. If you guys think he's guilty and should drop out, let me know. If you guys think he was not guilty and this was a political sham, let me know. I mean, let's have the conversation. I'm getting sick of this political bias crap and everyone entrenched in their camps. I can see both sides. I honestly can see both sides. I can see how people think that that Trump could be guilty of doing this. I really could see how they do it. I don't personally think that's accurate. I lean towards the other way, but that doesn't mean I don't have respect for your thinking that way. I do view this as politically motivated. This was a witch hunt for sure. They wanted to get Trump out of the way. And believe me, I understand why they want to get Trump out of the way. Trump was a wrecking ball to the establishment. But the sad part is that we're stuck in this really divided time in America, and it's absolutely nuts. So yeah, drop a comment. let's hear your thoughts. Was Trump guilty? Was Trump not guilty? What do you think the sentencing is going to be? I already shared my thoughts. I think he's going to defer until after the appellate process is done, mainly to avoid any political ramifications. That's just my thought, but yeah. So quick shout out from our sponsor again, Candle Time. Buycandletime.net. Check it out. Candletime2022@gmail.com. If you're interested, you can hit us up either places there. Oh, gosh, this has been a crazy week, and yeah, it almost feels like America is
Fatality.
yeah, kind of crazy. So, till next time, guys, have a good one. Oh, wait, hold on, I forgot. So, I'm not going to be around next Sunday to record, so I'm actually going to be pre-recording and putting everything out. So, main event Mondays is probably not going to hit too hard next week. But, yeah, so till next time, guys. Thank you for watching. Please give us a like, share, and subscribe. Till then, peace.